Broadcasting live from the Clark Athletic Center gym, this is a Beacons Broadcast Network production of UMass Boston men's basketball as they're hosting the Newbury College Nighthawks in a Saturday afternoon showdown right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. My name's Tyler Murray. We've got a lot to get to in the pregame show today. Let's first look at the overall team stats for these two clubs. The Beacons are 2-0 on the season, Newbury 1-3. You can see why. The Beacons have outscored their opponents by over 20 points on average, while the Nighthawks have lost by over 20 points on average. Now keep in mind, the Beacons have an enrollment of 16,000, while Newbury College, one of the smallest colleges in the area, they're located in Brookline, Massachusetts. Current enrollment 874, but these kids certainly know how to play. Let's check out the early season team leaders for both of these teams. We've seen quite the start from Gregory Young for UMass Boston, the transfer from Roxbury Community College. He averaged nearly 10 points a game and 5 rebounds a game last year, but obviously the stats jump off the page to you, what he's been able to do this season. And then Carl Aganor, a transfer from Wake Technical Community College in Raleigh, North Carolina, has 41 rebounds in 2 games this season. It's been quite impressive what he's been able to do. And players to watch for Newbury College, you got to look at Davon Edwards with 13 points so far this season. And Jeremiah Ephraim, as you can see, leads that team with 2 assists and steals per game on average. But those 2 players not in the starting lineup for the Nighthawks this afternoon. We'll get to the full starters in just a minute. But first, let's check out the all-time series between the Beacons and Nighthawks. Just 2 games played so far between these two over the last 10 years or so. The Beacons won last year 77-68 and then blew out Newbury 110-68 back in 2001. So they're looking to go undefeated against the Nighthawks in their franchise or school history. UMass Boston's player to watch today, we mentioned him a bit earlier, Gregory Young, the senior from Dorchester, Massachusetts, listed at 6'4", 200 pounds. He will get his 3rd start of the season, averaging 21.5 points per game, 15 boards, 10 of those coming on the offensive glass. He's been all over the place for UMass Boston this season. Let's check out the starting lineups for Newbury College this afternoon. At guard, Mills Carrasco, he's had quite this season. 23 points in the lone win in 2014-15 for Newbury. That was over Purchase State last Saturday. Then you got C.J. Carter in the backcourt with him. Up top, it's Kenny Ramos and David Hart, with Hart getting his 1st start of the season. And Cameron Owen, the center, will be roaming the paint for Newbury College. Now let's check out UMass Boston. No changes for them. They've had the same starting lineup now in each of their first 3 games of this season. Luke Ulysses, Leo Medina, Gregory Young, Carl Joseph, and Stephen McGuire. Lots of experience on this team. 3 returning starters, 5 seniors, and they've been able to use Carl Aganor as their big man a great deal so far this season. Let's check out the keys to the game. We talked about UMass Boston's experience. Well, that's going to play a big factor you would expect in this matchup. The Nighthawks have 12 underclassmen, 1 junior, Phil Beltran-Smith, and only 2 seniors, David Hart, who gets the start today, as we said, and Chris Sheridan. So we shall see just how much the Beacons' veteran experience and, of course, having home court advantage will help them out this afternoon. The Beacons have dominated the rebounding battle this season. They can thank Carl Aganor for that, for the most part. He's been able to tear down, as we said, 41 rebounds this year. And for UMass Boston, they lead the Little East Conference with a plus 19 rebounding margin so far this season, while Newbury has a minus 18.8 rebounding margin in 2014. And a win is a win, folks. The Beacons looking to go to 3-0 for the first time since 1997. Newbury's had a slow start to the season. They've certainly shown some talent and some promise, but they're coming off a pretty rough campaign last year. They went 3-22, but we know this team has had better days. 2 seasons ago, they went 14-12 and made the NECC tournament semifinal for their pretty talented and experienced head coach Jelani Townsend in his 4th year. He graduated Temple University in 2007, so plenty to play for here for the Beacons as the starting lineups have been introduced and we're just about ready to step aside for the national anthem here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Basketball just moments away. I'm Tyler Murray. Our crew today, Brian Fiella, is our director. Charles Lai on the camera. And we've got Iglis Bijobi helping out as well with Jose Pena. over to our left. So we'll step aside briefly for the starting lineup introductions and the national anthem, with basketball coming up momentarily on the Beacons Broadcast Network. So again, as you just heard there, the starting lineups for both teams. You got Mills Carrasco in the backcourt for Newbury, Kenny Ramos, Cameron Owen, C.J. Carter, and David Hart, who gets his first start of the season to round out the lineup for Newbury College. UMass Boston will have Gregory Young, Leo Medina, Luke Ulysses, Carl Joseph, and Stephen McGuire out there on the floor as their starting five. Beacons going from left to right in the blue and white uniforms, while Newbury College is in the green and gold with a white trim for the Nighthawks. They're 1-3 this season. UMass Boston has a 2-0 record so far, looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 1997. Off the tip, a pass ahead to Ramos, denied by Carl Joseph. Heck of a block there, and he gets possession for UMass Boston. How about that? Joseph, the senior from Brockton, Massachusetts, coming off quite the performance against Suffolk. He's the team's only four-year player and the only player averaging over 10 points a game. This comes to Joseph on the right wing. Now into the corner it goes for Luke Ulysses, wearing number 23 today instead of his usual 11. Pass inside, beautifully done as McGuire finishes with the right hand. That's an assist for Gregory Young. Nice find there, his 5th assist of the season. And Stephen McGuire is on the board, 2-0 UMass Boston. Quick shot from Carrasco off the front rim. McGuire pulls down the rebound. He gets it to his point guard, Leo Medina. Inside to Joseph. Dribble drive, he puts it home and he'll get a free throw. That's a good hard drive from Carl Joseph. Very active early on in this game. A big block to start the proceedings. And he gets an and one here, a chance to make this a 5-0 Beacons lead. Joseph shooting 12 for 17 from the free throw line this season. 17 free throw attempts in just 2 games, pretty impressive. And he knocks this one through. So a 5-point lead for UMass Boston, who puts on the early pressure here. Head coach Charlie Titus in his 39th season. Not taking any chances, as his team has looked very solid so far in non-conference play. A hard drive from Kenny Ramos. He comes up empty. Rebound pulled down by Joseph. They find Medina. Back near side to Ulysses, and he'll get it back to Leo. Ulysses had some space. Pump fakes. Now he takes it off the front rim. Rebound pulled down by Cameron Owen. Goes to his left for C.J. Carter. Into the corner. This is David Hart. Pump fakes. Now back up top to Carter. He'll launch this one from deep, and he puts it home. Carter gets the Nighthawks on the board. C.J. Carter spells his name out fully. C-E-E-J-A-E. A sophomore from Dorchester. Now Ulysses left alone in the corner, and he responds. Luke Ulysses gets the Beacons back up 8-3, a 5-point cushion. The senior from Brooklyn, a transfer from Roxbury Community College, joined the team about halfway through last year and ended up starting the final 10 games. Now here's Cameron Owen showing the range from downtown. 3 consecutive three-pointers between these two clubs. UMass Boston takes a timeout. They do lead 8-6, but you can tell Charlie Titus unhappy with those 2 threes surrendered. It was Mills Carrasco at first, and then C.J. Carter, followed by that last one put through by Cameron Owen. So a timeout for the Beacons. Coming off a pretty rough season in 2013-14. They were 6-20 overall, and for the first time in their history, they went winless in conference play, 0-14 in the Little East. But if you've watched the Beacons season preview on beaconsathletics.com, you can tell this team feels a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident with so many returning players, 3 returning starters, and Carl Joseph has certainly led the way. He's just 173 points now away from 1,000. He told our own Seth Orensky that he wants to drop some jaws this year as he passes to the outside for Greg Young. Dropping back into his zone here, Newbury College. Medina sees the opening but misses short. Good hard fight for the rebound into the corner. It's won by Kenny Ramos. Ramos coming off a double-double, 20 points and 13 rebounds with 7 offensive boards in a losing effort against New England College on Thursday. 94-81 was the final there. This pass knocked away by Ulysses. They had a pick called for Mills Carrasco, who wanted to find some space on the near side wing, but instead Ulysses breaks up the play. Hart streaks for the corner. Instead, the pass goes up top to Cameron Owen, who leaves it for Carter. They hit that first 3 for Newbury to start their scoring. Gets past Ulysses, but loses the handle in the lane and throws up a wild shot. It's pulled down by McGuire. In transition, the Beacons come. It's Greg Young up top to Ulysses, all the way around for Medina. Now they find McGuire in the corner. A rainbow shot rattles in and out, and it's pulled down by Hart. Up ahead to Kenny Ramos towards the corner. This is Owen, who connected on a 3 just moments ago. We'll get it back towards Ramos, all the way towards Carter, who nearly wound up for a long-range 3, but instead he'll pull it down. Carrasco towards the center logo for Owen. Shot clock at 10. Right-hand dribble drive. This is Carter. Leaves it back for Carrasco. Open 3 rattles out, and yet again McGuire pulls down the rebound. This is Young in transition. Doesn't have numbers, so instead he'll swing it all the way around where it finds Ulysses. Down onto the block for Joseph, but it knocks toward the corner. Beacons can reset here. Still plenty of time to shoot. 19 on the shot clock. Joseph finds some room. A pull-up jump shot won't go. And a big hit there by McGuire. Tried to get all ball to fight for the rebound, but got plenty of Newbury. So it'll be out of bounds for the Nighthawks. First foul on the Beacons. 8-6 they lead with 16 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening half. The Nighthawks have yet to play a home game. This is their 4th road game of the season, and their win came at a neutral site. Spinning in the lane, Cameron Owen, a baby hook, nicely done. And we're all tied up 8-8. This is Medina now, crosses over, lost the handle, but Joseph is there to bail him out. Swung around towards Ulysses, one dribble, kick out to Young, and he connects. A corner 3 gives the Beacons an 11-8 lead. And back come the Nighthawks. This is C.J. Carter. One of the issues for Newbury this year has been assists. They had only 3 assists against Yale in a 97-51 loss a couple of weeks ago. As this one comes off the rim, Young got it ahead to Ulysses. He gets it right back to Young. Swung around for Medina. That's 3 balls off the back rim. Young still fighting for it, but can't get it away cleanly from Owen. That's out of bounds off of UMass Boston. The Nighthawks are averaging just 7.8 assists per game. Point of reference, the Beacons averaging 18 assists per game. Could have something to do with lack of offensive execution, missed open opportunities, or maybe they're hoping to find a better offensive facilitator. C.J. Carter has looked very good today, though. Knocked down a 3, driving hard towards the basket. Couldn't get around Luke Ulysses that time. And with 14 seconds on the shot clock, he'll reset things. Now this is Carrasco. Tries to drive on Medina, unsuccessful. 5 to shoot now, in the lane. Looked like he took steps. And yes, indeed, traveling is the call on Kenny Ramos. So back it comes for the Beacons. Joseph will inbound to Medina. Good crowd here for a Saturday afternoon. Joseph from the free throw line kicks out to Medina. Left-hand drive will go all the way back toward the near wing where Young bounces one across to Ulysses. Luke's open shot is off the back rim. Young is there on the rebound, got hammered on his way up, and he'll shoot 2 free throws. Gregory Young, the senior from Dorchester, had quite the game against Suffolk. Overall this year, 15 boards in just his first 2 games, with 10 of them coming on the offensive glass. He's 2 for 4 from the free throw line so far this season. Knocks this one down. Now, Young really has been an all-around contributor. 5 blocks and 5 steals already in the first couple of games, as a substitution comes in for Newbury. David Hart will exit the game, and Phil Beltran-Smith will enter the fray. He gets the ball right away. A junior from Hartford. Smith crosses over a couple of times into the corner for Carrasco. Mills is off target, and once again McGuire pulls down the rebound. This is Leo Medina, inside-out dribble. His pass got deflected. Joseph elevates to pull it down. Still loose, though. A couple of players fighting for it, and jump ball is the call. Possession arrow pointing towards UMass Boston, so the Beacons hang on to it. With 14 minutes and 11 seconds to go, and a 13-8 lead, Charlie Titus is going to put in Carl Agenor for Stephen McGuire. Agenor, the junior from Dorchester, Massachusetts. Shot 7 for 15 against Suffolk. He scored 15 points and pulled down 24 rebounds. Now this is Medina. Beacons still have 17 to shoot. Ulysses gets it back to Medina. Jab step to the right. Dribbles back to the left. Ulysses hop steps in the lane. Gets the roll. And the Beacons take a 15-8 lead. Now the far side official nearly blew the whistle on Medina's stutter step. Almost called a traveling violation, but let the play continue. And Ulysses took advantage. Now this is Kenny Ramos. He finds Carrasco, but Mills' pass is knocked away by Joseph and picked up by Agenor. Give and go there from Young back to Ulysses, and Luke puts it through. Second 3 ball today from Luke Ulysses, and the Beacons take an 18-8 lead into the timeout. Newbury wants to talk things over. 13:21 to go in the first half. The Beacons have themselves a 10-point lead. Neither of these two squads had particularly memorable seasons in 2013-14, but certainly some signs on both ends for better things to come. UMass Boston in the middle of their 7-game non-conference stretch to start things off before their first conference game of the season against Keene State. That's on December 6th. they've got a pretty good chance the way they're playing to feasibly go 7-0 before conference play starts. Their biggest test will probably be against MIT on December 2nd. MIT certainly has turned some heads as of late. As we've said a couple of times already, though, if the Beacons can get this win, it'll be their best start since 1997. And back then, they ended up finishing the season 12-13, which is very solid for UMass Boston. But it goes to show you can't necessarily take too much out of the first few games of the season. But one thing to keep in mind, with the Beacons playing some opponents that have struggled in past seasons, they're not winning by the skin of their noses. They are controlling these two games they've played already. 75-62 win over Colby Sawyer in the season opener, and then they won by 28 against Suffolk here in the home opener on Thursday. So they're riding high to start this season, and you can bet they're trying to erase any memory of last campaign. This will be Smith to bring it up for Newbury. They trail 18-8. Gets it over towards C.J. Carter, who's now playing shooting guard, it would seem, after starting the game as point guard, but now he'll act as floor general. He sends Smith towards the corner, drives on Young, but instead kicks it out towards Smith. Aguilar came out to help off the screen and roll. Pass inside, deflected by Ulysses. Young picks it up ahead to Carl Aguilar. Thought about going 1-on-4, but instead pulls back for Medina. This is Ulysses again, open for a three, but instead he'll pass down low to Aguilar. Young quickly moves the ball around. Nice ball movement overall from the Beacons. Aguilar into Joseph, and he finishes with the right hand. Just past the outstretched arms of Kenny Ramos, Joseph finishes strong. Nearly a strip there by Medina, but instead a foul is called as Beltran Smith got hit. So Joseph now has himself 5 points. He had the and one earlier in the first half. A couple of threes we've seen so far from Luke Ulysses as well. This is C.J. Carter, deflected out by the wing off the hands of Gregory Young. Ball winds up loose in the paint, and a jump ball is called by the baseline officials. So possession this time will be awarded to Newbury. UMass Boston 20, Newbury College 8, 12:21 to go in the first half. Underneath the basket, this is Mills Carrasco. Quickly gets it inbounds to Kenny Ramos, all the way back around for C.J. Carter. Carrasco got freed up on the near side baseline momentarily, but Ulysses did well to close out the three-point opportunity. Pretty creative inbounds play there put together by Jelani Townsell as Aguilar denies Cameron. On a hook shot in the lane, up ahead to Gregory Young. Back out towards Ulysses. Joseph wants to post up on Cameron Owen. Got hit from behind by Smith. Not a bad idea to try to strip that one free, but it's actually going to be a foul called on Mills Carrasco, beg your pardon, as a couple of substitutes come in for Newbury. Jeremiah Ephraim and Davon Edwards join the fray. Lewis Neals is out there as well. Or, beg your pardon, Jedwan Langston. Lewis Neals still on the bench. Now, Ephraim and Edwards had started most of the games these Nighthawks have played this season, as Ulysses can't connect. But they were not in the starting lineup today. And right away, this is Edwards connecting on a three from the near side wing, assisted by Ephraim. Needless to say, a much-needed spark off the bench as Young tries to answer, and he does. Well, we saw this earlier in the game. After a couple of threes were knocked down by Newbury, UMass Boston came right back and did the same. Now Edwards and Langston playing catch. Good job by Medina to prevent the penetration. With the right hand, working inside, Langston knocked away by Joseph, out of bounds, and the ball stays with Newbury. Joseph entered this game with 3 blocks. He's got 2 already in this Saturday afternoon showdown. This pass is kicked away as Medina couldn't get his hands down low enough, so gets a sneaker in the way of that entry pass. Still 16 seconds to shoot for Newbury. Deflected off of Ephraim. It winds up with Edwards. Edwards loses the handle and his footing. Pass up ahead towards Carl Joseph. Redirection in midair, and he finishes with the right hand. Good hustle back by Carrasco to break up that play, but he couldn't quite get there. Now this is Langston. Crossover inside. Hop step, takes a hit, but he can't finish. As Jadjuan Langston is coming off a team-high 23 points off the bench on Thursday. He shot 8 for 11 from the field, 7 from 11 from the line. Didn't take any three-point attempts in that game either, so pretty efficient for him. Driving hard into the lane as he will be inbounding this pass. As the Beacons change point guards, Fred Epps comes in for Leo Medina. Ephraim crosses over, eventually finds Langston. Defended by Epps. Shot clock, of course, reset on that foul as Owen gets it up top to Langston. Fake to three. Back out to Owen. He's hit one already. Make it two. Cameron Owen, 6'7", but showing the range. He gets his team back within 11. Nighthawks bench chanting for some defense. Agenor gets double teamed down low. And Epps tried to force it inside of Joseph. Pass got knocked away, and then he trips up Ephraim in transition. Not the worst foul you'll see, as Ephraim had a pretty clear path to the basket. Instead, they'll have to pass it in from out of bounds down below us. It's Langston once again. He's the freshman guard from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Gets a pick from Ephraim. Hesitated at first, spins and puts it back around for Owen. His three is good. A steady diet of corner three balls from Cameron Owen have kept the Nighthawks in it. We're getting comparisons to Steve Novak by our cameraman Charles Lai. One of my favorite players, Steve Novak. At least when he was with the New York Knicks. That's neither here nor there. Gregory Young from just inside the line. Rattles in and out. Joseph got a hand on it, but it goes out of bounds off of his arm, apparently, and the Beacons lose possession. Just like that, you see Stephen McGuire heading for the scorer's table. Or beg your pardon, that's Salim Omerovich looking to get into the game for the first time. Joseph got tangled up at midcourt, taken away by Langston. Hop step in the lane, left-handed layup. He puts it through, avoiding the contact. Agenor was right there, but Langston still able to finish. We've got a 6-point ball game. Skip pass from Epps to Ulysses. He's been about 50% from downtown today. It says Joseph looking to answer, and they can't get the rolls here. Agenor rips it down, and a foul call. It'll stay on the floor. UMass Boston will inbound here, and now Omerovich can get into the game. A foul is called on Langston, his first. Each team has 4 fouls. Not really close to the bonus just yet. Omerovich comes in for Joseph. Epps fakes a three. Down to the low block for Young. He gets it to Omerovich, who draws a foul, and he will shoot 2 free throws. Salim Omerovich, a junior from Saugus, Massachusetts, 6'4", 195 pounds. This is his 3rd appearance of the season. He scored 4 points so far. Knocks this one through as UMass Boston now leads 26-19. Trying to stave off this run put together by the Newbury Nighthawks. They've been very aggressive defensively, and they've given themselves a couple of transition opportunities. Agenor pulls down the miss. Up top, 3 ball from Ulysses off the back rim. Loose ball picked up by Young. His putback won't go. That ball's out of bounds off of Davon Edwards, and the Beacons will have a fresh shot clock. Couple of offensive rebounds there off of the miss from Omerovich. Agenor had a chance to put it home, as did Young, but neither could connect. Zone defense once again here from Newbury. Young gets a nice feed but can't put it home. Still loose, and Gregory Young picks it up. Ulysses wants to drive. Inside, right-handed layup way off. Picked up by Agenor. He gets rejected from behind. And once again, UMass Boston will inbound. You got to appreciate the physicality down low from both of these teams. No easy buckets, at least so far. Epps wants to go down low for Omerovich, but he takes it right back out. 2-3 zone, as you can see, put together here from Newbury. Agenor pump fakes in the corner. Down low to Omerovich. Creative passing there, and Salim finishes. So in the end, Omerovich gets 3 points out of that possession, 1 layup and 1 free throw, and the Beacons up ahead by 9 points. Look at Young getting down on the court, looking for a turnover. He can't get there. Spinning from the corner is Ramos, a wild shot, gets nothing. And back come the Beacons all the way inside for Young, and again the left hand betrays him. He can't finish, and back comes Ephraim. Jeremy Ephraim, he's able to find Jedwine Langston. Left hand dribble drive, took some contact, can't finish, but 2 free throws coming up. Not sure what to say about Gregory Young other than left-handed layups aren't as easy as a lot of these players make them look. Coming up a little bit short on his last couple of attempts. Carl Joseph is set to check in for UMass Boston. Langston's first free throw attempt of the season, or beg your pardon, the game, is unsuccessful. He's 7 for 12 now from the charity stripe. David Hart and Doré Ross come into the game, replacing Kenny Ramos and Cameron Owen. Langston goes 0 for 2. Hart gets a piece of that one, but it winds up with Joseph. Langston still fighting for it and forces a traveling violation on Carl Joseph. 9 times out of 10 you'll see a frustration foul put on by a man who just missed 2 free throws like Jedwine Langston did, but that time he forces a turnover, gets the ball right back. His team trailing 28-19 with 7 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half. This is Langston over towards Ephraim. Beacons also playing a zone. Langston kicks out. This is Hart off the back rim. Nearly got himself a good bounce, but Agenor pulls it down. Outlet pass to Ulysses. He finds Joseph. Luke gets it right back. More 2-3 zone here from Newbury. There's that key pass inside for Agenor. Deflected entry pass towards Omerovich. Winds up out of bounds. Once again, UMass Boston will inbound. Agenor has 4 choices out there. Epps, Omerovich, Ulysses, or Joseph. As it looks like a Nighthawk is tying his shoe. Davon Edwards had the laces come undone. Towards midcourt. It's picked up by Ulysses. Epps had Agenor down low, but couldn't see him quickly enough. Omerovich out to Joseph. The Beacons passing very well. Epps has an open 3, just missed it. And Joseph soars in for the tip back, but can't get it to go. Hughes rips it away, and it's a 2-on-1 break. Down low, Ephraim has it rejected by Edwards, or Agenor rather. Great hustle all the way back down, and Carl gets the rebound as well, as Langston couldn't put home the putback. Epps goes to Joseph. Nice bounce pass. Agenor off the back rim. He was falling away that time, but Joseph finds the loose ball, and he got fouled on his way to the basket. David Hart stuck his hand in there, and he paid the price. Beacons have a chance to re-extend their lead to double digits. It looks like Ishmael Ahmed is about to come into the game for Newbury. Well, the Beacons have Leo Medina ready to go from the scorer's table. Joseph's first free throw won't go. Now 13 for 19 on the season from the line. So they're going to have 2 different point guards on the floor for UMass Boston. Ulysses takes a break. It'll be Medina and Epps in the backcourt with Omerovich, Agenor, and Joseph in the front court. Joseph goes 1 for 2 from the line. It's 29-19, UMass Boston. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Omerovich defends Edwards in the corner. They go up top to Langston, finds some space inside and finishes. He's asking for a foul, but he won't get one. 2 points to his credit, though, as he brings his team back within 8. A lot of space for Joseph, but a good closeout on the near side by Ahmed, who just came into the game. As we said, 2 point guards out there for UMass Boston. Won't have a ton of 3-point prowess, but a good job there by Medina to find some space. He gets bailed out by Agenor. Medina and Epps playing catch. A long distance three off the front rim. It's picked up by Epps. He forces a pass inside, and it's picked off by Edwards. 2-on-2 break. Edwards takes it all the way home. A no call there as Medina wanted to draw a charge. Loose ball winds up with the Beacons. A foul is called against Newbury. Foul called on Ahmed. Now Newbury, as we've said, has had a couple of rough games so far, as that last foul has put the Beacons into the bonus. Fred Epps will shoot 1-1. Off the back rim, Ahmed had it in his grasp, but Omerovich squirts it free. Loose ball and a jump ball is called again, third of the afternoon, and the Beacons will regain possession. But the Nighthawks, in the last half they played against New England College, they actually were even with New England, 49-49. The problem was the first half was abysmal, 45-32. They fell behind big and couldn't climb back, shooting 2 for 12 from downtown in that second half comeback effort. At the free throw line, Omerovich can't connect. This one's pulled down by Edwards. Dave Vaughn off to the races. Looking to find a lane. He'll pull back and shoot a three. Just missed it. And Aguilar pulls down a one-hand rebound. Outlet pass goes to Medina. Omerovich is open again, but didn't have enough room eventually to put a shot up. Into the corner for Joseph. All the way back around. They find Omerovich again. To the top of the key, this is Medina. Pull-up shot, no good, but look at the follow. Carl Joseph glides into the lane, and a tip slam gives UMass Boston a 31-21 lead, and a timeout called by Newbury. Look for that highlight later on today on beaconsathletics.com. Joseph, a statement, and the Beacons have a 10-point lead with 4:57 to go in the first half. We'll step aside for a quick break and come back with the conclusion of half number one on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Tyler Murray, Brian Fiala, Charles Lai, and Eglis Bijotti with you on the Beacons Broadcast Network. 4 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the first half. UMass Boston has a 10-point lead. This is Jeremiah Ephraim, defended by Leo Medina. They run and play into the corner for Edwards. His three-point attempt is off the mark, and Joseph pulls down another rebound. Across the lane they go. Joseph once more. Got knocked around, but able to finish strong off the glass for two. 12-point UMass Boston lead. As Ulysses back into the game, wants to put pressure on in the backcourt. He's defending Langston. Should be a good matchup. As Langston hesitates, spins inside, gets around three different Beacons, and finishes with the left hand. Back to a 10-point game as Omerovich gets it back to his point guard, Ulysses. Bounce passes to Aguilar, a fadeaway jump shot, no good, and it's taken by Ephraim. Didn't have numbers, so he pulls up and knocks down a shot. You see the left-handed delivery by Ephraim, the freshman from Norwood, Massachusetts. He had 5 assists against Purchase State, and the Nighthawks' lone win this season. Medina finds some room, and he finds the net. That's a big three for UMass Boston to respond and regain an 11-point lead. Medina, the junior from Brockton. A kick out to Edwards. This one's off the mark. Deflects towards Ephraim. And he's able to find Langston. A quick kick out to DeRay Ross. His first shot of the day, no good. Edwards pulls it down and puts it back in. He'll get a free throw as well. And he took some contact from Salim Omerovich. Couple of subs coming in. It'll be Gregory Young replacing Omerovich. And for Newbury, Cameron Owen and Mills Carrasco back into the game. They'll be replacing DeRay Ross. and Kenny Ramos. Three-point play is converted by Edwards. The Beacons up by just 8 now. Medina to the far wing. This is Ulysses, and he puts it home. Luke Ulysses has the range today. His third triple of the afternoon, and the Beacons back up by double digits. This three-point attempt deflected in front by Young, sprinting down the sideline, hoping for an outlet pass, but he'll slow things up. Once again, Medina has space, though, and this time his three ball is offline. Joseph powers his way in. He saw the size disadvantage for Mills Carrasco. He draws the foul. It is not a shooting foul, though. It'll be 1-1 for Joseph. That is the 8th team foul of the game for Newbury. They're going to get Jeremiah Ephraim back into the game as Carrasco just picked up his second foul. This will be a live play off the miss. If it does miss, and he does, as Young pulls it down, and he gets fouled. This will be a 2 free throw affair as he was knocked toward the basket on his way up. Good rebound there by Gregory Young. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, certainly has size, but in terms of rebounding ability for this team, it's all about instincts. A couple more offensive rebounds today. He had 10 offensive boards in the first 2 games of the season. Knocks this free throw home. He's now 3 for 5 from the stripe this year. Looking to make this a 41-28 lead. Indeed he does. 2 for 2 goes Gregory Young. And with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half, it'll be Newbury ball. Loose ball picked up by Edwards. Down to the court goes Gregory Young. It's going to be a foul called, it looks like, against Newbury. And because it's an offensive foul, it will not send the Beacons to the free throw line, but that is the 10th foul of the half against the Nighthawks. So any more fouls against Newbury will give the Beacons 2 free throws until the end of the half. There's a wide open Luke Ulysses. He was waiting for it. Off the front rim, deflected around, and this one goes out of bounds off of Carl Joseph. You saw Joseph soaring in, hoping for another tip slam, but that one bounced high and over the cylinder, and he did well to not touch it. Would have been offensive goaltending, and unfortunately for UMass Boston, it winds up out of bounds. Ephraim with a head of steam, pulls back. Now he'll find Smith. Owen comes over to set a pick, but Smith goes the other way. This is Ephraim once again, over towards Edwards. Good perimeter defense here from UMass Boston. No room to drive for Newbury. Smith wants to push the issue. There's Edwards, gets free with a pump fake. His shot off the mark. Deflected back out towards him, though. Crosses inside, rejected by Edwards. Got the ball back. Joseph knocks it away twice in a row. And Medina picks up the loose ball. Ulysses had room for a 3, but instead will slow things down. To the free throw line, out to Medina. He's knocked one down already, and now he's 2 for 3 from downtown. 44-28, UMass Boston pulling away here as we close out the first half. 1:35 to go. No look pass from Ephraim, intended for nobody in particular. Eventually picked up by Cameron Owen. Ephraim wants to drive. He got hit by either Aguilar or Young. Either way, he's headed to the free throw line for a couple of foul shots. It will be on Gregory Young. That is the 7th foul against the Beacons, so anything more than this will be 1-1. This, as we said, though, 2 shots. Ephraim puts it through. Shooting 70% from the line this season as Fred Epps comes in to replace Leo Medina. Ephraim able to make this a 14-point game. UMass Boston inbounds to Luke Ulysses. He quickly finds Epps. Pass back to him is knocked away by Ephraim, so an inbound pass coming for the Beacons. UMass Boston won this matchup 77-68 last season. This one's bounced in low to Aguilar. faked a pass back out towards the wing and got it all the way across the baseline for Epps. This is Joseph with some space. He knocks it through. Carl Joseph, such a good mid-range stroke, extends the lead to 16, 46-30. UMass Boston has the edge. And with 1 minute to go in the first half, a timeout called by the Nighthawks. We'll take a quick break and come back with the final minute of half number one. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. Live in Boston, 46-30, UMass Boston has a relatively comfortable lead, at least considering how close the opening minutes were in this game. Still another half to go after the final minute of the first stanza winds down. This is Smith defended by Epps. He tried to sneak past him with a left-hand dribble drive, and a foul is called on Epps. It'll be a block, and he's going to the line for a 1-and-1. Beacons have Epps, Ulysses, Agenor, Young, and Joseph out there. Smith gets the roll. And into the game comes Christian Sheridan in favor of Davon Edwards. So Sheridan, that's his first appearance of the game, a senior guard from Chicago, Illinois. 56 seconds to go in this first half. Smith goes 2 for 2. Beacons want to force the issue here, passing towards the bench of Newbury. It's knocked away out of the hands of Epps. Skip pass across to Epps. No look delivery inside to Joseph. And he works his way into the lane and puts it in. Back comes Ephraim in transition, looking to go 1-on-4. Can't do it, knocked away. Young keeps it alive and finds Agenor. And he goes over the other end for Ulysses. Young thought about it. This is Epps. It's now a 3-2 zone, it would seem. Put forth here by Newbury. And this three ball rattles in and out with 17 seconds to go in the first half. We'll see if Newbury holds for the last shot. Maybe not. They've got Ephraim wide open inside. Avoided the contact, but also avoided the basket. At the bottom of the rim. 3 seconds left. This is Ulysses. A fall-away shot rejected by Sheridan. And that's how the first half comes to an end. 48-32. UMass Boston takes a 16-point lead into the locker room. And a similar story for Newbury. They fell behind New England College by 12 in the first half on Thursday. And even though they played New England even in the second half, tough to come back from a 16-point deficit. However, this team certainly has shown some promise early on in this season and early on in this first half. But the Beacons right now have done quite well to hopefully, if you're a Beacon fan, continue their strong non-conference start. This is their third game in 7 tries to begin the season in non-conference play before their December 6th showdown against Keene State. They're 2-0 to start the year, and so far so good in game number 3. We'll take a quick break and come back with some first half stats and get you ready for half number 2. A 16-point lead for UMass Boston. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. Almost set for second half basketball. Let's get you caught up on the first half team stats. You take a look there, folks, and I'll tell you what stood out to me. Carl Joseph shot 7 for 9 from the field in the first half, 8 rebounds, 4 offensive, and he blocked 5 shots, leading the Beacons in plenty of departments. Carl Agenor has 10 rebounds for UMass Boston, 16 points for Joseph to lead all scorers, and the man who just bounced past it to the top of the key, Cameron Owen, has a team-high 11 points on 3 of 4 downtown shooting for Newbury. This is Kevin Hart driving towards the near side baseline. They'll get it back all the way up top toward Kenny Ramos, who pump fakes, now heads inside but couldn't finish. And the rebound is picked up by Luke Ulysses. Beacons lead this one 48-32, looking to go 3-0 to start their non-conference season. Nice pass inside to McGuire. Baby hook won't go, and it's picked up by Owen. And leave it back for C.J. Carter, who started the game but did not play very much after he was removed in the first 10 minutes of the game. This is Carter again toward the left wing, defended by Ulysses. And low to Cameron, defended by Joseph, turns around, got the shot blocked. It comes loose and winds up with Kenny Ramos, who puts it home off the glass. Back to a 14-point game. The score was tied 8-8 in the first half, but the Beacons have never trailed. Nice pass inside, and McGuire puts it in. Beautiful entry feed from Gregory Young, who drove down the baseline. He had 3 assists in the first half. Luke Ulysses had 6 assists to lead all players. This is Cameron Owen fighting hard for it down low. Tries a hook shot over Joseph, couldn't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in. $14 points separate these two teams. Joseph looks to answer. Nice pass on a give and go. Young draws a foul. He'll shoot 2. As that time, Owen got the body in there. Feet were moving, though, it seems, so blocking foul is the call. So here's Gregory Young. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the first half. Put up 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal in that first half. Another well-rounded performance through 21 minutes. Puts that one through as Davon Edwards comes in to replace David Hart. Again, Hart got the start today, his first of the season. Good to see the senior getting out there to start the game as Young can't get the roll this time. It's pulled off the glass by Kenny Ramos. Goes near side to Carter. Thought about a three-pointer. Instead, he finds Carrasco on the wing. Now back up to Ramos. He gets a pick from Owen. Owen flashes on the low block. He'll eventually get it. Goes one-on-one with McGuire. Double team help from Young. Gets a hand in there. Frees it up for a steal. This is Medina all the way up. Alley-oop finished by Joseph. He's flying high today, folks. As this one goes out of bounds. UMass Boston using big plays like that to swing momentum their way. This is Medina across the timeline where he's defended by Carrasco. Ulysses double teamed. Good job to find Joseph, though swinging around where Gregory Young has this one knocked away. Up ahead, Carter finds Ramos. He gets it, and he finishes off the window. That could be momentum given right back to Newbury. He'll shoot 1. Ramos was 0 for 4 from the field in the first half, so he gets his first point of the game. Now a substitution coming in. Christian Sheridan is going to replace Mills Carrasco, who heads over to the trainer's table behind the scoring area. Ramos cannot convert the three-point play. Good rebound by Young. Gets it to Ulysses. Young finds some space inside. Joseph for 3 off the back rim. fighting for the rebound. Young gets it, tried to slip one through for a cutting Joseph, couldn't get it to him. This pass knocked up ahead. Ulysses fighting for it. The ball comes free to Ramos, and he slams it down with two hands. Now a whistle blows here. That's official James Byrne pointing to the scorer's table. I guess it was maybe a delay of game. Didn't issue a technical or anything. Maybe a warning. No free throws will come of it as the inbound comes to Medina. Leo had 6 points on 2 of 6 3-point shooting in the first half. Joseph got hit on his way to the basket, so the play will stay on the floor. It's Joseph, McGuire, Ulysses, Medina, and Young out there. Mills Carrasco comes in to replace Christian Sheridan. Carrasco joins his Nighthawk teammates. Carter, Ramos. Oh, and this one passed inside, but Young couldn't finish. And Charlie Titus puts his hands to his face on the Beacon bench. Well, that would have been 20 points for Joseph. He gets a piece of this one, though, knocked away, and it's picked up by Medina. Pass to McGuire, somehow finds Joseph inside, who draws a foul. He wanted the and one, but no luck that time. Nice pass there from McGuire. Had to thread the needle, but somehow got it through. UMass Boston up by 13 with 16:28 to go. In the second half, that foul was called against Cameron Owen, his first of the ballgame. So 2 shots. Joseph connects on the first. Again, he led all scorers with 16 points in that first half. He's at 19 right now. Knocks this one through. And the Beacons back up by 15. Now this is Carter. He started the scoring for Newbury with a 3-pointer in the opening minutes, but has been silent since then, and a traveling violation called. That time it was Kenny Ramos who took one too many steps. Full court pressure being put on, at least momentarily, by Carrasco and Carter. Eventually they give Medina enough room to get over the timeline. Pass inside, McGuire turns one way, fakes the other, and puts it in with a hook shot. Nice move there from McGuire. Had a bucket in the first half. Beacons playing man-to-man here. Driving inside is Edwards. He has that one deflected away by Ulysses. He finds Medina in transition. Leo holds up, finds McGuire. Pump fake from the baseline. Tried to pass inside to Edwards, who wanted an alley-oop pass, but instead a bounce pass got beyond him. Out of bounds. This will be a full timeout taken here with 15 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the second half. UMass Boston leads 57-40. We'll step aside for a moment and come back live from Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. Ramos will inbound for Newbury. They trail by 17, 57-40. UMass Boston has the lead with 15 and a half minutes to go in regulation. Now this is Carrasco, leaves one for Carter. Pivots to the corner, back for Carrasco. His shot off the front rim. Good defense there by Leo Medina. Gets the rebound, he finds Luke Ulysses. Over to Greg Young. Now down low, Carl Joseph. Cutting inside is Young. He gets the contact. No finish there, but 2 free throws coming up, and he's 6 for 6 from the line so far. Jeremiah Ephraim and Jedwan Langston are going to come in after the first shot for Newbury College. Young knocks through another one. It's going to be Davon Edwards and C.J. Carter to come out of the game. Beacons have McGuire, Joseph, Young, Ulysses, and Medina out there as Greg finally comes up empty from the free throw line. Still, though, 1 for 2 on that trip. 18-point lead for UMass Boston. Now Langston looking for a teammate. They'll find Ephraim. Defended by Young. Top of the key, dribbles to his left hand. A little scoop shot. He gets it to go, plus the foul. Heck of an effort there by Jeremiah Ephraim to get into the lane and work through the contact. Chance to make this a 15-point game. Ephraim came into this game off the bench after starting the first 4 games of the season. Went 1 for 4 from the field in the first half. He scored 4 points, a couple of free throws as well. Now here's Medina. Kick out to McGuire. Open 3 from the corner, and he rainbows that one through. Good looking shot there from Stephen McGuire, the senior from Rancho Cucamonga, California. This is Langston. Over to Ephraim. Defended by Young. Now to the near side wing. He finds Carrasco, who quickly dumps it off to Langston. Defended by Ulysses. Turns and faces. Back to the top of the key for Ephraim. Wants to drive again, but instead passes one out for Langston. A wild shot on the fadeaway. No good. And Joseph brings it down. They get it ahead to Medina. Right back to Ulysses. Thought about pulling up for a 3, but instead he'll get it back to his point guard. Down low for Young. Big size advantage, and he takes full advantage of that. Left-handed layup, and UMass Boston up by 20, their biggest lead of the game. 14 minutes to go. Langston swinging this one around for Ephraim. Some space there for Ramos. Jab step to find some more room, and instead he'll take it inside, draws the foul, and puts it in. These 3-point plays are keeping the Nighthawks afloat here. The Beacons have been so good with their perimeter defense today. But in terms of defending the aggressive drives from Newbury, it's been a little bit tougher. The Nighthawks shot 5 for 13 from downtown in that first half. Only scored 10 points in the paint, though. Beacons 18 points from inside the stripes. As this one is converted. Kenny Ramos gets a 3-point play, 63-46. Beacons still have the lead. McGuire gets it back to Ulysses. Defended by Langston. Will leave it off for Joseph, who's able to find Medina. Gets a pick from Joseph. All kinds of space inside. Kick out to McGuire. The pass eluded him, and it was all he could do just to keep it in bounds. It winds up out of bounds off the sideline, and Newbury takes over. Again, the Beacons' biggest lead, 20 points. They have never trailed. Well, Newbury is not going to let them get through the second half easily. Traveling violation there. Christian Sheridan stepped before he dribbled, and the Beacons take it right back. Medina directing traffic. He's defended by Carrasco. Able to find Ulysses, who's beat up this time by Langston. A pick from Young. He frees himself up, and a bounce pass inside to Joseph, and a foul called. That's going to be a charge, it looks like, against Joseph. And he's saying that Ramos was in the restricted area for that call, but it was the far side official who said offensive foul against Carl Joseph. Well, a couple of turnovers by both of these teams after some good offense back and forth. Langston got tangled up with McGuire. Able to find Ramos, who's got the room for a 3, and he puts it in. Now Joseph got the hand right in there. Gave him some room at first, but he closed out quickly. Still, though, able to make the shot. Rebound from McGuire off the miss from Young, but he couldn't put it back. And it's taken away by Sheridan. His pass towards Cameron Owen is deflected out of bounds, and it will stay with Newbury. Down to a 14-point UMass Boston lead. Nighthawks showing signs of life as Langston hop steps inside and somehow gets that one to go. It curled off the front rim and in. 63-51. Charlie Titus wants the timeout, and he's discussing a call with the referee from a couple of plays ago. His team up by 12 with 12 minutes to go. You have to admire Newbury College. They were down by 20, but since then, they've outscored the Beacons by 8. Quick timeout. We'll do the same and come on back on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Just a 12-point lead here for UMass Boston. Entry pass nearly wound up being a backcourt violation, but Medina did well to keep his balance. It comes to Ulysses, and he leaves it back for his point guard. 12 minutes to go, 12 points separating these two teams. Pick and roll. It winds up with Young, who got hit on his way to the basket. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Obviously, it's always a boost for a team to whittle a lead down to single digits, and the Beacons certainly don't want to let Newbury get that close. Young, who's been as close to automatic as you can get from the line, will try yet again. Off the front rim. That's my fault. The jinx is in as Carl Aguilar will replace Stephen McGuire. He's out there with Joseph, Ulysses, Medina, and Young, who will take his second free throw. Oh for 2, but Joseph is there for the rebound. A quick putback off the front rim and picked up by Langston. Gets double team in front of the Beacons bench. Nearly split it, but Medina gets the steal. Pass to Young. He'll take it up strong, and he got fouled again. So 2 more chances from the line. We've seen a very good game from freshman Jedwan Langston, but when you get double teamed like that, nearly impossible to force your way through with the dribble, and Medina made him pay with that steal. Leo had 8 steals entering today's game in just 2 games. Young has gone cold from the line, 0 for his last 3. To extend this Beacon lead to 13. Unable to do so, and this time the rebound pulled down by Ramos, who gets it up ahead to Langston. Jedwan Langston. Jedwan. Play frees up Sheridan, top of the key. Not close. That was his first shot of the game. A bit rusty, it would seem, off the bench, and Medina comes away with it. Luke Ulysses got all kinds of room. Will take it all the way inside and draws a foul. Well, Ulysses was able to knock down 4 of his 7 three-point attempts in the first half, and he had all day to shoot another that time, but instead he took it inside and drew a foul. A lot of traffic down there, but it did not worry him. His free throw rattles home. 13-point Beacon advantage. That was the second foul of the game called against Kenny Ramos. And 2 for 2 goes Ulysses. Again, he's wearing number 23 today instead of his usual 11. Now Langston. Quick pull-up jump shot from the elbow off the back rim, hits the top of the backboard, and picked up by Young. Ahead to Ulysses. Gets it to Medina, hit a couple of threes in the first half, but instead he'll swing it around towards Young. Down low to Joseph, bounce pass for Aguilar, and he puts it home. Carl Aguilar was knocking down shots like that in warm-ups with ease, and there he translates it into game action. Able to get the Beacons back in front by 16. Now this is Owen from the free throw line. He can't connect off the side rim. Young all the way ahead to Joseph, and he knocks it home. Two-hand slam, avoiding two different Nighthawks. They get the Beacons back ahead, 69-51, an 18-point lead. It was all the way down to a 12-point cushion, but the Beacons able to score 6 straight into the timeout. We'll take a break and return to the action momentarily. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. Back live in Boston. The Beacons fresh off a 6-0 run, looking to continue an impressive stretch, up by as many as 20. Currently have an 18-point lead here. This is Owen. He gets it towards Davon Edwards. Edwards, a state champion in high school with Brighton. Didn't have to go too far for his college education in Brookline, Massachusetts. That's where Newbury College is. He's got the ball here. Sneaks around Young, but goes out to the other wing for Kenny Ramos. Free throw line jump shot, no good. Aguilar loves rebounds so much, he tried to take it away from Medina, and it cost the Beacons possession. Now Aguilar, even in his limited playing time in that first half, coming off the bench for McGuire, able to pull down 10 rebounds in 14 minutes. Remarkable. We are halfway through the second half. Young gets a hand in there. Off to the races he goes, and he finishes with 2 hands. 20-point lead for UMass Boston. This is Kenny Ramos. Tries to cross over Young. Now he spins. Gets it up toward the basket. He got fouled, and he'll take 2 free throws. It took him 2 impressive moves to get around Carl Joseph. Wasn't able to finish the play, but a well-deserved breather for both of these teams. 71-51, Beacons in front. 9:47 to go in the second half. Told you Ramos had a bit of a tough first half from the field, but looking good at the line, especially in half number 2. Knocks that one in. Again, folks, my name's Tyler Murray. We've got Brian Faella, Charles Lai, and Iglis Biggiotti as our crew. Iglis is taking over the camera duties for half number 2, doing a wonderful job. And Brian's UConn Huskies took home I don't want to say dominating win yesterday over Dayton, but a win is a win. He's currently wearing his 2014 National Championship hat. The 3rd in the last 15 years, not bad. Next free throw rattles in and out, and Ulysses pulls down the rebound. Entry pass to Joseph, tried to sneak one through for Young, but it's deflected out of bounds off the hands of Carrasco. So Aguilar will inbound from underneath the Beacons basket. Joseph wants to free up Young. He comes off the pick and has some space of his own. Pass inside to Medina, somehow gets a piece of it. Look at this passing. Down goes Joseph very hard. He landed directly on his back, it looked like. It might take him a bit to get back up on his feet. He was fouled. 2 free throws coming up. But he's certainly slow to get to the free throw line. Just great passing there from Aguilar off the feed from Medina. Just a one-touch feed to free up Joseph. Aguilar has been a huge addition to the Beacons so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak into that starting lineup sooner rather than later, as this free throw's off the back iron. Aguilar, the transfer from Wake Tech in Raleigh, North Carolina. 24 rebounds against Suffolk in the home opener on Thursday. He needed one more to break, or at least tie, the Beacons' single-game record for rebounds, as Joseph splashes one through. Back up to a 20-point UMass Boston lead. This is Langston. Beacons back with a 2-3 zone. Langston finds room, but it's because he traveled, took steps, and back it goes to UMass Boston. Aguilar will inbound. And C.J. Carter comes into the game where he's going to replace Langston. Another good game for Jed Dewan, the freshman. He had a team-high 23 points for Newbury off the bench in that loss to New England College on Thursday. Ulysses into Aguilar, back out to Luke, but a foul called before he can get the shot off. It'll be a 1-1, as that is the 9th team foul already in this second half against Newbury. It could slow this final 9 minutes to a crawl if they can't play disciplined basketball. Aguilar hits one, and he'll get another. Carl, the junior from Dorchester, Massachusetts, 6'5", 205 pounds, goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Biggest lead of the day for the Beacons, 74-52. Pump fake from Ramos, able to get it over to Edwards, defended by Young. Thought about backing him down, but faces up instead. Now this is Carrasco, gets triple teamed inside, and Young is denied. Good block there by Joseph all the way around. This is Medina. Joseph gets the assist. How about Carl getting a block on one end and then the assist on the other end? Nicely done. The Beacons ahead by 24. Now Ramos starts to force it. Aguilar gets the rebound. All the way down for Joseph. Looks for Young, rips through, underhand reverse layup, puts it home, and the Beacons running away with this one. This is Edwards. Got hit, couldn't put it home, but able to get 2 free throws. 78-52, UMass Boston won't want to take the foot off the gas, but they can if they want to. And it looks like Newbury will do the same with 4 subs scheduled to come in here. Edwards knocks this one through. You got Sheridan, Smith, Ephraim, and Ross coming into the game. Only player staying out there is the shooter, Davon Edwards. Kayvon Murray also will sub in for Newbury. Edwards can't hit the second one. Aguilar pulls down the rebound and leaves it for Medina. Stephen McGuire is set to check in for UMass Boston at the next whistle. Young backing down on Edwards. Turns and faces. Pass inside to Joseph. He couldn't handle it, and Smith takes it away. Up ahead towards Ross, who fires it towards the timeline for Ephraim. Smith thought about pulling up, but instead they'll get it over to Ephraim. Had a very good first half. Not much of a chance here in half number 2. Edwards finds space inside. Good adjustment down low, and he scoops it home. 23-point lead for the Beacons. Now this is Ulysses driving in hard. Leaves one for Joseph, and he finishes. Luke Ulysses Had 6 assists in the first half, and he continues to impress. Edwards, why not? Well off target, off the bottom of the backboard. Now Medina up ahead, and this is where Young tries to keep it alive. It goes off the foot of Ephraim, and it will stay with UMass Boston. A timeout is called on the floor. The Beacons lead by 25, 80-55 with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this one. We'll take a quick break and come on back. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. It's Medina, McGuire, Ulysses, Agenor, and Joseph on the floor for UMass Boston. The Nighthawks a bit slow to come out of that timeout as Joseph finds room inside. Can't finish. A lot of contact there, but this game seems to be in hand. A 25-point lead for UMass Boston. As Smith shuffled his feet, but no call there either. Defended by McGuire, who wants a switch, but he won't get one. Inside goes Smith. Left-handed shot. That's good. Impressive layup from about 5 feet away. It goes inside now. Joseph. Agenor and Medina. They'll play pick and roll. Medina kicks out to Joseph. Carl kept it in for a second, but it rolls out of bounds. Looks like Fred Epps is going to come in for Leo Medina, so a point guard switch for Charlie Titus, who applauds his starting point guard Medina for a job well done thus far. This is Smith. Gets it back from Sheridan. Smith lets fly off the front rim, and Ulysses gets there first. This is Agenor. Had the room to shoot, but finds Joseph inside. His hook shot won't go. Carl still fighting for it. Over the back was the call. Has his hands up in the air as if to say, I didn't reach over, I'm just really tall. But in reality, contact was made. And with that loose ball foul on Joseph, it will be the 7th team foul against UMass Boston in the second half, so 1-1. Beacons are in the double bonus if they get fouled again. It'll be Sheridan to shoot. Off the back rim, quickly rebounded behind him, though. Heck of a play there by Kayvon Murray. His first point of the game. Joseph down low. McGuire, a turnaround hook shot, beautifully done. The two big men connecting for a bucket. 82-59, Beacons in front. Now Smith calling out signals. He goes to Sheridan, who wants to drive on McGuire. Got hit by Agenor, and that'll be 2 free throws. Just under 6 minutes left in regulation. 82-59, Beacons in front. They lead by 23. Second foul against Agenor, and the 8th team foul against UMass Boston. They will likely go to 3-0 for the first time since 1997. Sheridan can't hit the first. He goes 0 for 2, but Ephraim gets the rebound. Lost it for a moment. Able to find Smith for an open 3. That one's way short. And a foul called there on Ephraim. So more free throws coming up. It'll be Fred Epps to the line, and he will shoot 2. That is Foul number 10 against Newbury in this half. Epps, the freshman from Randolph, Massachusetts. He played 11 minutes against Suffolk on Thursday. 2 rebounds, 2 steals. A couple of turnovers. Knocks that one in. Can't convert on the second, and Ephraim picks up the rebound. Over to Smith, who's able to find Sheridan. Well defended in that corner. All the way out to Ephraim. Pump fake to the left hand. Inside, the layup is no good, but a foul call. By my count, 4 straight possessions with a foul involved. And, of course, with the Beacons and Nighthawks now being in the double bonus, things have slowed down to a crawl. 83-59, UMass Boston in front by plenty. And a timeout called on the floor. We'll take a quick break as well. Stick around. This is the Beacons Broadcast Network. Back live in Boston. Good news for the women's team as well. Kirsten Keeks-Morrison has scored her 1,000th point for the women's team in an impressive victory for the Beacons, 63-41. We've seen some similar domination in today's affair as well for the men's side, as Ephraim's free throw won't go. 83-59, the Beacons in front. Ephraim goes 1 for 2. You saw Joseph just subbed out for Luke Ulysses. They'll take it up and find Agenor. Young for Epps, now back around. They'll feed it down low to Carl. Trying to back down Ross. He finds the space. Look at that fadeaway. That is beyond D3 talent level execution, I would say, as Carl Joseph shows his appreciation for the bench. Goes near side for Sheridan. All the way back around for Smith. Ephraim kicks out Sheridan, a long 3. Can't get that one to go. Loose ball goes towards Agenor, and a foul is called. The refs were not sure at first if that was going to be a offensive foul or a loose ball foul. It was a loose ball foul, so 2 free throws coming for Young. Looking to break out of a free throw slump. Knocks the first one through. 4 minutes, 56 seconds to go. In this one, the Beacons quite close to 3 straight wins to start the season. Young goes 2 for 2, and in comes Medina to replace Epps, and back comes Joseph to replace McGuire. A 27-point lead for the Beacons. And they're going to let this ball roll to conserve some clock, as Smith will pass it up ahead towards Sheridan. Kick out. This is Ephraim. Hop step in the lane. Left-handed layup is good. Pretty play there from Jeremiah Ephraim. Ulysses wants to push. An opportunity for both teams to work on their sets. They've got all the starters pretty much out there for UMass Boston. Joseph gets fouled. Too hard off the glass, so 2 free throws coming up. The only non-starter for the Beacons out there right now is Carl Agenor, as McGuire just hit the bench. And you can check out the team preview on beaconsathletics.com, but the gist of it is all of the players feeling a lot more confident this year in terms of how comfortable they are with the offensive system. And we're seeing some great passing when the Beacons get into their sets. And even when they can't take advantage of their shooting opportunities, a lot of offensive rebounds, especially from that man, Carl Agenor, who knocked down a free throw. 4.5 minutes left. Ramos goes up top. Edwards looking down low for Owen, who's been silenced in the second half. He had a trio of three-pointers in the first half. Went 3 for 4 from downtown to lead his team with 11 points at halftime, but nothing since then. Ramos to Hart, open three from the corner. That's good. David Hart, the senior from Keene, New Hampshire, as the Beacons catch Newbury napping with a long pass layup for Gregory Young. The Beacons could break 100 today. 91 points with under 4 minutes to go. Ramos defended by Joseph, crosses him over, gets inside, fights through contact, couldn't finish, and the ball goes out of bounds for Newbury. It'll be a fresh shot clock for the Nighthawks. Beacons playing man-to-man once again. Owen had a chance to launch a three, but lost the handle, takes it all the way in, and scoops it past Agenor. Joseph, give and go with Ulysses, blew the layup. Loose ball, Young got a piece of it, and he knocks it over the backboard. It came back in, but the whistle already blew. It hit the shot clock, so that's out of play. The Beacons have had a lot of bounces go their way this afternoon, though, as they've taken a 24-point lead, 91-67. It was tied 8-8 in the first half, but UMass Boston has never trailed. Langston, defended by Ulysses, spins inside, puts it up, but no roll. And it's taken by Agenor, who gets it up ahead to Medina. Transition pass for Young, and one. Beautifully done, as Cameron was able to get back and put his body in front of Young, but he was moving, it seemed. And Greg gets the three-point play opportunity. Into the game comes Kayvon Murray. And he's going to replace Owen, who has fouled out. Now Salim Omerovich is going to come in for Carl Joseph. There's a decent chance Joseph is done for the day, but you never know. Young misses off the back rim. Omerovich gets the rebound, but it's taken away by Langston. Jedwan Langston all the way down the lane. He got fouled, or did he? Offensive foul is the call. Far side official made the ruling. Jeffrey Adams says bring it back down. We're going to see Kevin Lewis Jean get into the game. Gregory Young comes out. Carl Agenor comes out as well. And Iwan Indarprasto is into the game as well, the freshman from Indonesia. Medina goes to Ulysses. Down low for Lewis Jean. Leo bounces one to Ulysses. Indarprasto with the ball now. Swings it back around. Bounce pass inside for Lewis Jean. He finds Ulysses in the corner. Now Medina pump fakes. Drives, kick out. This is Ulysses, and he puts it home. Another three-point dagger from Luke Ulysses. He was 3 of 7 from downtown in the first half. Big part of helping the Beacons extend their first stanza lead to 16 at half. Too long in the three ball from Devin Abreu, but that frees up a shot for Carrasco, who connects from downtown. 2 minutes left, 96-70, UMass Boston in front. Could very easily hit 100 points today. Indarprasto's pass knocked away. It still winds up with Omerovich. The Beacons wisely slow things down here. Medina to Indarprasto. And a whistle blows. A timeout call by UMass Boston. They've got a 26-point lead with under 2 minutes to go, but they want to talk things over for reasons unknown. Quick break. We're back in a moment for the final minutes of this blowout. 96-70, UMass Boston in front. Lewis Jean has it taken away, picked up by Omerovich. He gets denied. Loose ball, dribbled away by Carrasco. Up ahead to Abreu. Now down low as Murray flushes it home. And you hear a little bit from the Nighthawk contingent. They'll get to shoot from the free throw line. 96-70, Beacons in front. And a good job there from Gabriel Pereira just into the game to challenge that shot. First free throw is up and good. Kayvon Murray averaging 2.5 points a game. Now has 3 in this one. Murray goes 2 for 2. It'll be Iwan Indraprasto to take the ball up. Pass down low to Omerovich. Top of the key. Indraprasto didn't realize that pass was for him. Lets it go by. Out of bounds for Newbury. This is Devin Abreu, the sophomore from the Bronx, defended by Indraprasto. Gets past him. A bounce pass inside is out of bounds. Couple of sloppy plays here as we wind down this one. 1:12 to go. As the Beacons are looking at a 3-0 record to start their 2014-15 season. The freshman had 3 minutes against Suffolk on Thursday. Indraprasto had a couple defensive rebounds. Catches the pass here. Kick out to a wide open Ivan Cutts Jr., who gets that one in and out. Indraprasto fighting for the ball. Abreu wins the race, gets inside, draws a foul, count it, and a free throw coming up. 51 seconds to go in this one. Abreu gets onto the stat sheet for the first time tonight. 4:47 Eastern time, but just about pitch black out there behind us. Daylight savings time. And winter coming rapidly. Free throw is short. Rebound by Pereira. Up ahead to Indraprasto. Pass inside Omerovich. Kicks out. Pereira wide open 3. Can't connect. Follows his shot, but the rebound is pulled down by Newbury, but a traveling violation called. That was Kenny Ramos who stepped before he dribbled. And the Beacons regain possession with 40 seconds to go. Indraprasto has room for a shot. Did not make contact with the rim. As Ramos goes in transition, finger rolls that one home off the backboard. 96-74. Indraprasto pressured at the timeline. Up ahead to Omerovich. They swing it around to Pereira. He'll drive inside, and he can't get the roll, but nearly got his own rebound. A jump ball is called, and UMass Boston keeps possession. Their bench is into it, loving to see their reserves get some playing time. Cutts, Pereira. There is a pass to Cutts. As Pereira drives left hand, hop steps inside. A wild shot won't go, but he drew the foul, so free throws coming up for Pereira. 14 seconds to go in this one. The Beacons lead by 20. a bit too strong on the first one. Pereira, the freshman from Brockton, Massachusetts, played just 1 minute against Suffolk on Thursday. He did score twice, though. Hit a couple of free throws. Goes 1 for 2 on this trip as the Beacons bench applauds their freshman for cashing in. 10 seconds left, and it looks like Abreu will dribble this one out as the Beacons improve to 3-0 for the first time since 1997 with a 97-76 win on a Saturday afternoon on the campus of UMass Boston. The Nighthawks fall to 1-4 overall, 0-4 on the road, and the Beacons able to get their third consecutive win to start the season. Want to thank our hardworking staff, particularly our director, Brian Fiala, our cameraman, Charles Lai, and Iglis Bijotti, our sports information director, Dave Wahlberg, our producer, Seth Orensky, and everybody involved with this production of the Beacons Broadcast Network. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out beaconsathletics.com for our future games coming up. This men's team will play again right after Thanksgiving, and they certainly have earned themselves a nice break after a tremendous start to this season. Once again, folks, the final score, UMass Boston 97 and Newbury College 76. For all of us here on the Beacons Broadcast Network, my name's Tyler Murray saying have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you soon.